Are you listening? Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the INDY Sports Talk. I'm Stephen Mitchell. I'm a reporter with the Clark College Independent. Today I'm joined by online editor Ellie Lang, sports editor Michael Larson-Teeters, and reporter and bling-blinger Junior Bundy.
Today we're going to be discussing all sports, collegiate, pro, and most importantly, Clark sports.
Yeah, Clark's softball team, man. I mean, they played in their first ever postseason game, May 19th. Despite losing their first game, they went on to play, three more games?
Yeah, they went on to play 3 more games. They lost initially to Douglas College 9-7. Douglas College was the number 1 seed, with Clark being the 16th seed with a 13-15 division record. But Clark lost that first game 9-7 and went on to play 3 more games, but ended up losing their last game to the NWAC champions for this year, Wenatchee College. Despite playing the entire season with only 13 players, Megan Krause coached the team to a 13-15 division record and a 16th seed. With only 2 actual pitchers on the roster, she recruited other position players to her pitching positions that were already on the team.
It was and Madison Plummer was one of them, right?
Yeah, Madison Plummer was the only one recruited to Clark College as an actual pitcher.
Okay. Yeah, with 3.05 ERA.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she was
pretty
a
insane.
stud with her bat
she's a
too.
Stud, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been tough. I mean, the team did have to play, double headers, every week, and with only 2 registered pitchers for the majority of the season, that's really hard. But players were stepping up to fill in the role, and that's wonderful to see, especially from a Clark perspective. You can also check out the article "Painful Position" on the INDY website if you want more information on the season and what was going on with Clark softball. So.
Yeah, and with the baseball team too. I mean, juniors. I mean, they had how many injuries?
Quite a few.
It was I think it was it was.
They had 5 of the team's 9 starters were injured this season.
Oh yeah. Well, Junior, tell me about it. I mean, what happened? I mean,
Clark's baseball team ended up finishing with an overall record of 20-19, but struggled in the division with a record of 10-14.
okay.
Early on in the season, they had a 10-game winning streak, but that ultimately ended. Head coach Clark, Mark Magdaleno, he said that's because of the many injuries that they had and possibly because of the weather.
Yeah. Well, injuries are vital, man. Injuries to vital players, excuse me, are never good unless you got Bledsoe, Tom Brady,
and even especially with baseball, we had 140 days worth of rain. I mean, baseball is not a rainy sport. You can't really play it in the rain. So that's that's easily going to lead to some injuries for most baseball players.
Well, I was talking to Mags. I mean, that field is just. I mean, it's a twisted ankle waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's So we gotta. They need a better facility. That's just my 2 cents on it.
5 of the team's 9 starters were injured throughout the 2-month season, including the entire outfield. I mean, that the entire starting outfield was injured. You got problems, but their team still did pretty well for having all those injuries.
Yeah, one player even dislocated his patella. It was pretty brutal to watch.
Who was that? That was
Hayden Humphrey.
Oh, that was Humphreys. Yeah,
starting center fielder and Division I prospect.
Yeah, jeez, man. Well,
speaking of Tom Brady and Bledsoe, what do we got with national news?
Well, first off, with national news, we got some stuff with the Blazers. Okay, it's they didn't make it into the finals, but it's still the off season, and there's some possible trades. Yeah. Elliot, you're the Blazers guy. What do you think? What do you think the Blazers will have to do to get a guy like Paul George?
So that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing that's going around right now with the NBA. They're looking to try. A lot of people are saying that they're looking to try and get Paul George from the Pacers. And I don't know. This is an interesting thing. You got C.J. McCollum now going out there to try and grab him. You have Damian Lillard tweeting and saying things that he wants to bring Paul George to the Portland team. I think it would be a great fit for Portland. However, what is Portland going to give up for Paul George, for a player with that type of name? I mean, a lot of people are saying that they're going to have to give up C.J. McCollum to the Pacers or to another team in a 3-way trade. We don't know. So the idea, and the other thing is that you have Paul George looking into the Lakers, which that's another big item. I've heard rumors that he wants to go to the Lakers. So what is Portland going to do to try and sway him towards a small market team like the Trailblazers? That's really the key here. I mean, you have a player that's basically scoring 23 points per game. He's getting about six rebounds a game, 3 assists per game. That's a pretty strong player. What will they do?
Yeah, especially
that's the
with
key
rumors from the LA Lakers that it would take possibly 2 first-round draft picks to get Paul George from the Pacers. Possibly this one for this year, their second pick, which would be the second overall pick, and then their first-round pick next year. But that's all speculation.
Yeah, it's again speculation. I mean, you a lot of people are saying again you'd have to trade C.J. McCollum for him. C.J. McCollum is another player that's doing 23 points per game. I mean, at this point, you might as well just keep C.J. and maybe grab something out of the draft.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's definitely interesting out there. It's an interesting rumor, and if Portland is able to grab him and keep that backcourt situation,
Yeah.
I think Portland would be in a wonderful position next year for not only another playoff run, but for a championship run as well.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of free agency and off-season trades, Kaepernick, guys, it seems as though a lot of people think he's been blacklisted for his political views, but it seems like he's been in talk with the Seahawks. Do you guys think this is a good possibility for the Seahawks to sign him as a backup?
What's his role going to be behind Wilson?
I mean, if Wilson gets injured, they can play the same offense as they do with Wilson because Kaepernick's a running quarterback. It would help a lot. Kaepernick's a little spotty on his accuracy most times, but he's got the same legs. He's very mobile. They'd be able to run the same offensive scheme. It would be a good good plan.
And he is a veteran. He has been to the Super Bowl. He's been out. He's been to the the championship. He's been there. So I think that I think it's a good fit. That those two quarterbacks working together with Wilson and with him. I think that it would be a great fit for Seattle, and I think it would do good things for Kaepernick himself, and it would kind of just slow down the whole politics within sports.
Yeah.
Thing.
Well, I don't know that you can discount the politics and I mean the impact that Kaepernick taking a knee had. To the just the NFL fan base. I mean,
Yeah.
Benji's.
Well,
Benji's article. I mean, he really spoke to that.
And that's true. But I think that if you're going to go forward with that, landing at a place like Seattle, which has a much more liberal viewpoint, you're gonna have a fan base that's gonna protect you and want you to be there. And so I think that's gonna help him.
True.
And he's gonna have a team that's gonna surround him. I mean, look, they had their own version of a protest.
Yeah.
Maybe not the exact same type of protest,
Right.
but they did have their own version of a
And
protest.
Kaepernick put that into play. He set that into motion.
I think that
true.
this is going to be a team that's going to cradle him.
Yeah.
They're going to like an egg. They're going to cradle him. They're going to help him out. And who knows? If Wilson does get injured, I think they'll have a really good backup quarterback.
Well, back
and he'll
to
wanna
the
play.
football aspect of it. Russell Wilson did have a slew of injuries last season.
Yeah.
So,
Who is their backup right now?
Boykin.
Boykin. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would be a good thing to get a backup quarterback for them, and not to mention the rest of the injuries on the team.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe with all this, the stuff that's gone on with Kaepernick, who knows how he's going to come out.
Well, he's a hell of an athlete.
I mean,
he
it
was
was
a hell of an
only-
athlete.
yeah.
I mean, back in some of those runs in like 2013 when they.
It was only 3 seasons
Yeah.
ago when the
Yeah, it wasn't
Harbaugh's
that long ago,
era
right? Yeah.
ended, and Kaepernick
Yeah.
was an amazing quarterback during that era. He just needs a good coach to make him back there. I think that's the only thing holding
And he
him
has
back.
come out and said he won't take a knee anymore, right? He did. I believe. I read
No,
that.
I believe his statement was that he
won't. He will not anymore.
I thought that he's going to keep taking a knee
Okay.
until the America changes,
Yeah.
essentially.
I could have swore I came across.
I
an
think he was
article.
done for the season at least.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
would be interesting with the Seahawks, how they link arms.
Yeah.
But in other news, possibly the biggest fight ever is going to go down. Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Conor McGregor has signed his side of the deal. He's looking to make up to $75 million from this single fight.
I thought Mayweather.
All they're
retired.
waiting for is Mayweather to sign his side of the deal. Yes,
He did-
Mayweather
he
is
did have
retired. He's
retirement,
40
yeah.
years old.
Yeah.
This is the thing. He's talking, whenever he talks with the media, he's like, I'm going to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
So
Thoughts on this? Is this gonna happen?
So the only thing I have is you have McGregor who's a UFC fighter, and you have Mayweather who's a boxer. So what are the rules going to be? Is it going to be a
That's
UFC
going to
style
be
game,
it's going
or
to be
is
a
it
boxing match.
It's
Is it going to be a
It's gonna
boxing
be a
match?
boxing match.
So that definitely piques my interest more because I'd like to see who is the better boxer out of the two. I mean,
It's like
that's
the
gonna be
old school
interesting.
versus the new
It's
school.
the old
kinda
school
thing.
Yeah,
versus
I
the
mean,
new school,
Mayweather
yeah.
isn't new to mixing it up. He fought Big Show in 2007 on WWE, But he
The Big
punched,
Show, like
punched him straight to the face
Oh,
and
yeah?
broke his nose open. 2007. That was
Yeah.
10 years ago, though, so I don't know how he's going to be in his 40s.
Yes,
Like,
Floyd
who-
Mayweather is 40, and McGregor is 28. So he's got
All right.
the youth advantage.
So let's go down the line. Who would you pick?
I would pick McGregor. McGregor's younger. He's pretty spry, and he's got a UFC background.
He looks bigger than him, just more
Yeah.
muscle mass. You know, I don't know, but Mayweather is he's a damn good fighter though. I mean,
What about you, Junior? What do you
you
think?
can never count out experience.
Yeah,
It's
I-
definitely a tough
that's-
one to pick.
Mhm.
Mayweather's got the experience. I mean, yeah, he's older. Conor McGregor's got some serious punching power, though.
Yeah.
And one thing we know about Conor McGregor is when he says he's going to do something, he does it.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I'm gonna go May. What do you think? What's your pick?
I'd have to go McGregor. I do hear you on the experience there, but it's I mean McGregor like you said he's just a big dude. I mean
Yeah.
his hits are like
He
they
can
remind me of like
overpower
George
some people.
remind me of George Foreman when he fought Ali
Yeah.
back in the 70s. It was like the Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah.
In that documentary, I mean, he showed like Foreman hitting the bag and like there would just be this big
Yeah.
dent,
Well, it's very interesting that you say that. Floyd Mayweather is known for his defense. He can
Yeah.
dip, dodge, everything.
Yeah,
He's very he's very agile in the ring.
And Conor McGregor is known for his counterpunching. So that's an interesting thing.
that is an interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be.
And him being a southpaw, who knows?
I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm going to pick Mayweather only because I agree. I like the experience versus anything else. I mean, you got to go back to George Foreman fighting in the ring after the age of 40. I mean, experience is always something.
yeah,
you
he
want
did.
on your side.
He held the title. For
Yeah,
like,
he was as
and
an old-
Holyfield did too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So
I mean,
yeah.
I think that it's going to be again. This is going to be one of those things where it's going to be a great fight if it happens. If Mayweather goes on it, but I'm gonna have to go with experience on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The older guy. I always go with the older guy.
Yeah.
So all he has to do is sign it.
All right. Well, another thing, a little brief thing here. This day in sports. In 1906, after 20 wins, the Boston Pilgrims lost to the Chicago White Sox 3-0. Have any of you ever heard of the Boston Pilgrims? I just found it was an interesting thing. So I have never heard of the Boston Pilgrims, but I thought it was kind of an interesting little
Yeah,
thing.
names have changed, and
I-
so have
yeah,
the cities that this teams are in. I
After
mean,
110 years, that's
And
crazy.
when Babe Ruth played for them, it was the Boston Orioles, right? I think
They were
was
the
it
Boston Orioles?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
didn't know that.
before
I
they
didn't
went
know
to
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
And then, were they have Fenway back then, or was Fenway?
Oh,
oh yeah.
I just
Fenway was made
Fenway was,
in early 1910s.
early 1910s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
this is
Boston
actually
Pilgrims
before.
were there before.
Yeah, this is 1906, so yeah, this is right before.
Yeah.
Well, Fenway
Yeah.
could have been there. Yeah.
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 Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up Clark's athletics for this year, guys. Make sure to keep an eye out for. I can't even see it up there. Make sure to keep an eye out for the release of the NWAC Track and Field Championship story being written by Michael and my profile of Paralympic athlete Jason Hurst.
Also, you can always go online and check out any of our sports articles at the INDY or the Independent
ClarkCollegeIndependent.com.
And check those out. They're pretty good.
And please support our podcast so that you'll see more of us on a daily basis.
Thank you.